Hello and welcome to this week's Cari's Connects. I am Cari Muggleston, and each week I will bring you a card from Colette Baron Reed's Oracle of the Seven Energies. So each week I just kind of go through and see what the card says, what to look for, maybe what to, know what's coming. Just kind of tap in and have spirit kind of help us out a little bit this week. So this week is called Beyond Ordinary. So a lot of times I'll say, make sure you're in the now, or sometimes, a lot of people say there's a reason for everything or things happen for a reason. Sometimes though, I call it spirit serendipity. Sometimes things just happen and we don't know why. And sometimes things are spirit, just spirit. So sometimes the light flickers because the light bulb's running out, but sometimes the light flickers because there's more to it beyond what we know. And I just want you to know that there is something beyond this realm. There is something, this hair's bugging me. There is something beyond this realm. There is something beyond this dimension. There is something beyond Earth. And they play an intricate part of what we do and they help us. So sometimes when things happen, you don't need to know the why. I know this is really hard, especially for analytical people who need to know all the answers. So this kind of lets me think that something's going to happen this week to you that's going to be quite not the ordinary. It could be a visit, it could be just something that behind the scenes that spirit plays with, so you get that job, or something like your relationship just seems to get better, you automatically have more energy. Something like that can happen. And yeah, there could be a total answer. But if this card is pulling up this week, that means that there's going to be something for those of you listening. For you, there's going to be something that's going to be out of the ordinary this week or beyond the ordinary. And it doesn't need an explanation. It's just going to be what it is. And you'll kind of know in your gut. We've been doing this long enough. I've been teaching you long enough and talking to you long enough that you have intuition. You know this. And so it's going to either be in your gut, or you're going to know that, okay, there's something more to this. If you feel that, I want you to just go with that, right? So if a picture falls down off of the wall, and you feel like, oh, is that so-and-so? Then it probably is, okay? Now, sometimes someone can be hammering on the other side of the wall and the picture can fall off. I don't want you to look for these things. Usually when spirit talks or teaches and the beyond the ordinary happens, it's out of the blue. It's not you seeking for it, okay? And so I just want you to kind of be aware. I want you to know that something out of the ordinary is going to happen, and it could be a spiritual thing. It could be just something out of the blue this week. But I want you to really no, and just kind of, I don't want you to look for things, but I also want you to be aware. There's a difference between looking for things and being aware of what's going on around you, right? So I want you to be aware of what is going on around you. And I want you to this week kind of decide, is this a spiritual thing? Is this spirit? Is this my ancestors? Is this my guides? Or is this something, I'm going to tell you a story. So there's always this joke. It's not a joke, but so a man was falling off the roof. He was up on the roof. He was doing some work. And he said, he started to fall. And he said, oh my gosh, Heavenly Father or God or whoever, Spirit, help me. I'm falling. And as he was saying this little prayer, his pants caught on a nail, and it stopped him from falling. And then once that happened, he said, oh, never mind. This nail saved me. Now I want you to sometimes feel like sometimes it's a nail. It's a nail. But sometimes it's not. And so maybe something's going to happen this week and you need to kind of distinguish the two. I don't want you to look for things like paintings falling off of walls or ghosts coming in your room, or but I want you to be aware of what's going on because spirit will work in those ways. And so I want you to just be kind of aware and know that there is the spiritual dimension, and they are here to help, and they are here to be with you and to help you in everything that you do. So I want you to be aware of that, because I feel like if if you've got this card this week, then a nail's going to come this week. Something beyond the ordinary. It's going to be something spiritual, something that's going to be pretty cool. And I want you, when it happens, to be aware that this is a spiritual thing, because sometimes it just is, and you don't need to know why it happened, or you don't need to know. It's just your guides or your ancestors or someone you love on the other side helping you, and that's okay. So the signs this week are obviously stars and orbs. Lots of clusters here. So the orbs usually are like all over the card, but this isn't a huge cluster like a community. So just know that this is kind of a symbolism that it's just going to be more than one spirit helping you on the other side. It could be your team. It's going to be a team this time. And also too, this person is in a meditative state, kind of, so maybe this week you should practice meditating. Maybe this is something that will be out of the ordinary, will happen to you then. Lots of greens and lots of feathers in the person. Now I do know that spirit or our loved ones on the other side like to use feathers a lot because they're easy to manipulate and they're easy for us to see. They're easy for them to put them in our way. So, but there's a lot. So maybe, this is one of those things. Is it a feather, or is it like if you live in my area, if you go around the green belt and you see all these feathers by the river, that's not your ancestors trying to reach out to you, right? But if you go to bed at night and there's a, feather on your pillow, that is beyond the ordinary. So these signs and symbols have to be beyond the ordinary. Lots of stars, which I love still. Now this gold-like thing, and kind of, I like this wingy fairy kind of thing going on here. So I think, fairies are beyond the ordinary. So if you see pictures of fairies or even real fairies, that's a good sign. So that's about it. And there is something going on with her hand right here. I'm not sure what that is. It's kind of like a root or symbolic of something. So, maybe roots of some sort. I don't know. But there you go. So watch for beyond the ordinary. Oh, the numbers 444, which is your angels are going to be with you. This is totally perfect because your angels are watching over you. And 555. So changes are coming. 555. Now, when I say changes are coming, some people freak out and they get all scared. 555, changes can be good. Changes can be good. So just remember that. We always have a choice, and if we don't want things to change, we don't have to let them. But I feel like, you have to take all of this into consideration. So let's say your angels are going to be with you. There's going to be lots of changes. Just know that some of the things that happen this week, even the changes, are going to be beyond the ordinary. They're going to be guided, divinely guided. They're going to be, kind of on the other dimension helping. So watch for those. Watch. Be aware. Don't look. Just be aware. Okay. Okay. That is it for this week. I hope you guys have an awesome week. I would love to hear all about some of the beyond the ordinary experiences that you have. So if you could just save this, if you want to save this post down at the bottom, and then when it happens, come back and make a comment and tell us what happened. That would be great. I love you guys so much, and I will talk to you guys next week.